what are your expectations from this conference?
Well, I think it's no different from what I expect in the many forums that I've attended and spoken at. We have a challenge. I think the global community has a challenge, and it's in trying to address the issues and the challenges that we face once in a while. I have been on the long road talking about climate change over the many years, but it's about responding, being able to respond to disasters, being able to be prepared, better prepared to deal with disasters before they do happen. And I think this is what Sendai is all about, and it's the right place to be, because Sendai was the center of what happened, the great disaster in 2011. And I think there is a great deal we can learn from the experience of Sendai. There's a great deal that we can learn from the experience of those who have come here also to share that experience, because we need to be together. As a global community, we need to continue to share the experiences so that we don't repeat the mistakes.
Okay. You just say now that obviously your island has been also affected by Cyclone Palm, and you just said that this cyclone was testing your preparedness. Can you say more about that?
Well, as I said in my statement just now, we're out of the hurricane belt. We don't get storms, and so we've never really had disasters in that sense. We get slow onset disasters like droughts, but nothing like what we have experienced recently. And so this will be the test of what we have worked on. Fortunately, I think because of the conferences like this, we have been prepared than we would otherwise would have been. And so we have programs in place. We have the Kiribat's Joint Implementation Program, which was really part of our response to climate change, because we consider that to be the most immediate challenge. But what we are experiencing is a storm, and we never did experience storms previously. So this is perhaps what we will be getting more into the future. And so our preparedness is, first of all, is in trying just to deal with the psychological impacts of having something like this. As I said in my discussions, I've always made this point. The biggest challenge is we don't have anywhere else to go once we get a storm like this, because on average we're about less than 2 meters above sea level. And so when a storm comes, we panic. We have nowhere to run to. So that is the biggest challenge. The real challenge again is we really haven't seen what disasters are like, what storms are like. And so what we need to do is, and this is what we're dealing now after, is we have to repair the damage. We have to get people back on their feet to be able to carry on their lives as they used to be able to do it. And the reconstruction effort is going to be immense. We don't have the resources. I know that Vanuatu was hit very badly, and they need a lot more resources than perhaps we do. But I think the concern is the realization that it's happened, and is it going to keep happening? How frequently? And the question is, will we have the resilience to be able to do it? And certainly, our experience over the last couple of days and over the next, I'm sure, next few years, will test how we can recover. I've been talking to a lot of people during this conference, and talking to a lot of people before coming here, to try and get assistance and remedy to deal with what we believe would be happening on climate change. It's coming. It's here now in bigger terms than we ever imagined. So we are trying to deal with this. We're trying to cost all of that. We're trying to assess the damage. We're trying to decide where to allocate the resources that we believe we might be getting in order to deal with this. But I can guarantee you, any reconstruction effort, any compensation will never fully cover the damage.
Mm-hmm. You talk about inclusiveness as well as an important thing, so is it part of the solution, obviously?
I think it's always been part of the solution, except that we never really focused on it. I'm sure it's one of those things that is inherent, or it should be inherent in humanity, that when things happen, you survive together. And I think being inclusive is actually getting people and everybody to realize that they have a part to play in any of this. They have the part to play in the reconstruction. I'm very happy to say that and to learn that arising out of what happened a few days ago, the community has come together and they are acting together to try and assist with the recovery. So it's about including not just government, but the different groups, the communities to be together, and as part of helping each other and helping helping as a nation to recover.
Just my last question. I mean, do you know exactly how much Kiribati was affected by the cyclone Tong?
The reports that I've had is we have considerable damage on the main island because a lot of the infrastructure was destroyed. The island, or the country, was paralyzed because we couldn't transport fuel, and so the air services had to be discontinued for a short while. And so we've managed to do temporary repair work, but there's a great deal more work that needs to be done. I cannot assess, but it's not a small amount, and it's not the kind of amount that we can afford. In the out islands, we have some of the southern islands, which are closer to where the storm was, have suffered more than the rest. And so it's in the tens of millions, I believe, that we would have to do in order to get back to somewhere close to what was the situation and what is normal.